Are you recruiters having trouble with time management? I know. Check out this video. I will show you what to do. Hey, welcome to the Millionaire Recruiter. I'm Brianna Rooney, your Millionaire Recruiter. If you have not seen this channel before, it's all about upping your game in the recruiting industry. So I know a lot. I have this trouble myself. Managing your day is hard. So I have been watching and reading all these different books and listening to podcasts about time management and productivity. And I have my thoughts, I have their thoughts, and I kind of jumble them together, and here they are for you. So there are, now a few different positions in the recruiting world that you can be. You can also be full cycle. So I'm just going to kind of sum this all up as if you were a full cycle recruiter and what I would do. First and foremost, if you do look at your emails at night before you go to bed and you respond, I will tell you, you're going to save a lot of time in the morning. However, the work-life balance inside me says, no, Brianna, not happening. So let's just pretend you don't do that. And let's pretend you don't wake up at 2 in the morning and read your emails, because I don't do that at all. All right, in the morning, first things first, straight to emails. Now, I'm not saying that you're leisurely taking your time going through emails. No, what you're doing is you're going through your emails and you're saying what has to be responded to now, what's of high importance. High importance would be candidates that got back to you and sent you their resume. Boom, intake, baby. Another one would be a candidate that is going to another round with the company and they gave you times to schedule. Boom, gotta take care of that. Offers, ding, 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 ding. Numero uno, right? Offers always come first. You always figure that out. Now, if it's, let's say you get up at 7:30 in the morning, you're checking emails, not a lot of people are up with you, so you're not exactly making phone calls. I personally don't make phone calls until 9 a.m. That's just me. What's cool about doing the whole states, recruiting the whole states and having everything open like that is if you're on the West Coast, you can easily call the East Coast pretty much when you wake up. That's pretty cool. So manage it like that. Any other emails that are not time importance, you keep those there. You pop up the ones you need, you get back to those, and you handle it. You move on. Now, I would even suggest when you are sourcing to turn off notifications. So what I like to do is, so when you're sourcing, you're using a lot of brain power because you're scanning either resumes or LinkedIn, more than likely. You're scanning things really quickly. The average time is about 7 seconds a good recruiter looks at a LinkedIn profile or a resume. So you're scanning through really quickly. You're using all your brain power. You're looking at the different Booleans. You're switching things up. You're tangent sourcing. You're doing all these fun things. Do it for 30 to 45 minutes max. When you get an email, unless it's again an offer email or set up an on-site, you don't move. You stay focused on sourcing. Now, if you're sourcing and someone's getting back to you in the middle of your sourcing jam with yourself or with colleagues, then you really quickly see who that is. And if it's a positive message where they're interested, that's when you stop sourcing and you get that back to that person. Yes, I just contradicted myself because I told you to source for 30 to 45 minutes. However, recruiting is all about timing. So if that person gets back to you and they're interested, you better bet your ass that you need to get back to them at that moment. If they send you a resume, pick up the phone and call them. They're available to you. And I know everyone's like, oh, but I want to, schedule it. I don't want to, interfere with someone's day. They sent you their resume for a reason. Not just because they like sending their resume. It's because they're interested and you happen to get them maybe in the morning once they had a really bad day already. Maybe their manager just yelled at them. Maybe they decided they needed more money because they heard from their colleagues they're making way more than that person. Who knows the reason why people look? There's so many of them, but the fact that they sent you their resume means they're looking right now. And if you continue sourcing and you're like, but Brianna, I'm in this really great, I'm focused. Normally I have ADD and I go all over the place. I'm focused right now. Doesn't matter. What matters is that you take care of that candidate. Maybe 3 candidates get back during your sourcing jam. Guess what? Why are you sourcing? Oh, to get candidates. That's right. So it doesn't matter how many messages you send out. And I know that we talk about, oh, okay, you have to send out 150 messages a week in order to hit your numbers. That's great. But can you send out 50 messages and hit your numbers? Yeah, you can. Maybe you just hit the right thing. Maybe your message is amazing. Maybe your subject line is great. Whatever it is, take care of it. Now, if there is no one's getting back to you, absolutely, 30 to 45 minutes, you're sourcing. Bam. After you're done sourcing, you're going to then go back to those emails that you deemed not time important, and you're going to get back to them. Because you can never not get back to someone via email. It's not good, bad look. Oh, so whatever you can figure out, whether you star them, you pop them out, definitely get it done. Keep it in your drafts, whatever you do. After you're done getting through those additional emails, I would suggest going through your ATS, your database, whatever you use where you have past candidates. You want to do that kind of work as well, because you can't just focus on LinkedIn. You have to focus on warm leads as well. So if you have already loaded candidates into whatever you use, go back. Now you're probably wondering, well, what do you mean go back? Well, statistically speaking, very nerdy, you are going to look at candidates that interviewed a year ago or 2 years ago, because people are natures of habit. They do the same thing a lot. I mean, I eat the same thing for breakfast like every day. It's good, it's good, and I like it. And the least amount of decisions I make, the better, the more successful you are. So this is the same thing with candidates. They kind of have their threshold on how long they typically stay in a role. Some are a year, some are 2 years, some are 3 years, some are 4 years. Of course, there's those unicorns that stay longer, which is great. But it's always around the same time. Why is that? Well, that must mean that they have a break in their life. So let's say this one candidate, wow, what a coincidence. They interview every July. Why is that? Oh, well, because the kids are on summer break and perhaps they have more time. I don't know. Or people interview every November. Well, it's because they know that the market pays better base salaries at the end of the year. That's common knowledge. Perhaps they always make a New Year's resolution and start looking in January, February, because that's just their thing. Who knows? But that's why you want to go back to your ATS or your database in order to make good on all of the work either that you have done in the past or your colleagues have done in the past. There's no need to reinvent the wheel. So do that work. Now you come back. Now let's look at your Slack notifications. Let's just say you are in Slack and that's like how your company corresponds. There's, like for us, there's the Vibes channel, there's this workout wellness channel, there's all these cool things. You definitely have to connect with your colleagues. You also have to go on LinkedIn and be very active, actively post, like things, comment on things, be very authentic. But you definitely have to take a break in your day in order to do that. Because if you're responding to anything and everything personal that can kind of relate to work, you could literally socialize all day long, especially in recruiting. Recruiters are social creatures. So I don't blame you for wanting to do that. It also feels really good, but this goes into your time management. And so when I was looking more into productivity in general, I stumbled upon someone that says they put everything on their calendar. Like even when they wake up, when they have their breakfast, when they work out, all their calls, absolutely everything, even their bathroom breaks, which is insane to me, but I understand it. So you can even schedule your social hour. You can schedule, when is it time to go take a walk around, 10 minutes, go get some fresh air. That stuff all matters. So if you work yourself to the bone, you don't give yourself any social breaks, any walk around breaks, bathroom breaks, food breaks, whatever the heck it is, you are not going to be as efficient as you can. And you're thinking, wait a minute, if I can work 8 hours a day, nonstop, hardcore, why wouldn't I? Well, because there's a lot of studies on this that a human can really only works 4 to 5 good hours a day. Crazy, right? Personally, for me, I would love if I could stand up in front of my companies and say, hey everyone, I have decided we are working 4-day work weeks and 4 to 5 hours a day, go. If we were all adults who held ourselves accountable, that would be a badass work day. Unfortunately, because of the human mind and because we naturally, if we're not go, 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 we tend to sit back and get a little lazy and a little more lackadaisical. It doesn't always work. It's not for everybody. But I will say this is why you add in your social breaks, your workout breaks, and all of that stuff, because you're giving your body and your mind a moment to recharge. And you need it. There's no way. I would love to meet this person. Please comment below if you're this person. But I just find there's no way that in 8 hours you were the best version of yourself. No way. So let's get back. Let's recap. Now here we are, here's our day. We've already sourced a couple times. We've sourced through 2 different platforms, either through LinkedIn or through our database /ATS, whatever you use. We've gotten back on emails a couple times. Sporadically during the day, candidates have gotten back and I've had phone calls or I've at least scheduled them. Now, whenever you're scheduling calls, remember you want to do 1 to 2 days, because the longer you wait to talk to your candidates, the less likely it's actually going to happen, the more likely you'll be ghosted. Ouch. So definitely schedule that up. I know lots of great recruiters who actually schedule chunks on when they'll actually take calls. So they'll have it on their Calendly link every single day. That's those times, and they just send it over. It has to be morning and afternoon, but they'll send it over to candidates to book themselves. I personally don't like anyone touching my calendar. I don't do that, but I know so many recruiters that when they do time blocking, that completely works for them. I like to have a little more drive when I'm doing my calendar. So what I do is, let's say a candidate gets back, I'm going to say, hey, so-and-so, great, I can talk to you in the next 15 minutes, or I'll just pick up the phone, or I can talk to you at 3 today or 8:30 tomorrow. You only give them a couple options. It's like when you're at a buffet. How many times do you see that person aimlessly walking around with their plate? What to choose, what to choose? It's because there's too many choices. As a recruiter, please do not give people too many choices. It will backfire on you for a couple reasons. 1, people can't handle it. Too many things to decide. And then 2, you're not driving things. You are the one that's in the driver's seat. You decide, you work on your day. And then plus, it's kind of like dating. If you give them too many options, you're too available, guess what? Not as cool. Sorry, people want what they can't have. Happens all the time. So back to this wonderful time management in the afternoon, you definitely have to source as well. So I would pick probably 3 different sourcing times throughout the day, and really the 30 to 45 minutes should be plenty to get your job done. What I also encourage you doing is content building. So when I said you have to be very active on LinkedIn, not only are you actively looking at your feed, you are liking, you're commenting, but you also have to have your own content, have your own voice, build your voice sooner rather than later. I'm not saying that you have to be, out there all the time and that's all you care about is your likes and your comments, because that's ridiculous. But you want to have your voice as a recruiter, because people always go to who they like and who's involved in the community. Like they want to work with passionate people. I want to work with passionate people. I want to work with people that love their job. So if you're showing others that you love your job, you're gonna be like a magnet. So, but that can be overwhelming. Building content, building your thoughts to share to the world is overwhelming. So put that in your calendar as well. And what I also suggest doing, last but definitely not least, is when you're managing your calendar, managing your day, do it for the whole week. Set it up. I suggest doing it for 2 weeks out. That's just me, because very quickly your calendar builds and you're too overwhelmed. But then you want to say, okay, now I'm going to look back up my response rate. Those times that I picked to do sourcing, did that work? Or should I pick different days other times? So you definitely want to play with it. You want to pay attention to your numbers. There's no such thing as a coincidence. So have fun with it. Manage your day correctly so you're actually getting things done with urgency and with fun. Fun, 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 fun. All right, recruiters, I hope you enjoyed this. And again, this translates to pretty much any role, but this was really definitely focused on full cycle recruiting and being able to even have time to manage candidate relationships and to also schedule interviews. Now, what am I going to do when I'm scheduling an interview? I'm going to pick up the phone, or am I going to email? Am I going to text? Trick question. You should have asked the candidate what they prefer. I'm always going to say pick up the phone. I'm old school like that. But the candidate says, hey, text me. Well, I'll do things really quickly. Then do it quickly like that. So what you want to do is make sure you are managing your day, you are standing strong, moving forward, and you're not wasting a second, because any wasted seconds are the ones that you're recharging on, and that is definitely not a waste. So enjoy for sure. And always, thanks so much for watching. I'm trying to pay it forward. You're also showing me a lot of love, which inspires me all the time, which is why I'm continuing to build out Thriversity, all of the offerings. We're going to be hitting you guys with a lot of mini courses, little mini chunks of training that wherever you are in your recruiting career, we got you. Even if you're in the beginning, you need help with your resume, your LinkedIn, we got you via Thriversity Station. So check that out for sure. And definitely listen to me and Taylor Bradley, my work soulmate, on the podcast Talent Takeover Unfiltered. See you every Thursday at noon. And do not forget that money is just a vessel to do all the amazing things you want to go do in life. Go live it. Rock the recruiting.